Okay students, today we'll start problems on quadratic equation, and I hope all of you up to now all of you know how to solve quadratic equation. But in problems on quadratic equation, what we have to do, we have to frame the equation properly by understanding this mathematical language. With this language we have to frame that equation properly, and for that you have to understand the English properly, and you have to see lot of solved examples, so that slowly you have an idea how to frame equations. So in this part I will just explain you with some selected sums, that how we form the quadratic equation. Okay. So that I will explain you today. Okay, so I'll just explain you how to form the equation, but I will not solve the equation. I hope you can solve that equation. So I'm just giving you the answer of every sums, and I expect all of you to solve these equations. Now for this sum, it's a sum related to the two-digit number, very important. Now before starting this sum, just let us recap something about two-digit number, which maybe we have studied in class 9. Yes, we have studied in class 9. Now if you remember, for example, you can see this 56 is a two-digit number, and when you this 56 actually means what? When you expand this, it is 5 into 10 plus 6. That means, mathematically if you expand, we say it is 5 tenths plus 6 ones, because 5 tenths means 5 into 10 plus 6. So this 5 is called the tens digit, and this 6 is in this number is called the unit digit. Now suppose if I take this 10 digit as x and the unit digit as y, therefore the two-digit number, now two-digit number becomes 10x plus y, is it not? 10 into tens digit plus unit digit, like 56 means 10 into 5 plus 6. Here tens digit is 5 and unit digit is 6. Now, so in that case, if I take tens digit as x and unit digit as y, so we can say the two-digit number is 10x plus y. So this is the general format of a two-digit number. But in case of quadratic equation, we are not going to take x and y. We are not going to take two variables. We will just take one variable, that is x. But the format of the two-digit number will be this. What? 10 into tens digit plus unit digit gives us the two-digit number. So any two-digit number means it is 10 into tens digit plus unit digit. What they told here? A two-digit number is such that the product of the digit is 14. Product of the digit is 14. Like here the product of the digit is 30, 5 into 6. So they told the product of the digit as 14. Okay, so here what we'll take, if I start with let the tens digit equals to x. Now they told the product of the digit is 14, so that means tens digit into unit digit will be 14. So I can take let the tens digit be x, and therefore my unit digit will be, try to understand, it will be 14 by x, is it not? Try to understand here. If the tens digit is x and unit digit is 14 by x, then the product of these two numbers becomes how much? 14. Then the product of the two numbers become 14. As they told here, a two-digit number is such that the product of the digit is 14. So therefore, in this case, what I get? The tens digit as x and the unit digit as 14 by x, and therefore I can say the two-digit number becomes what? 10 into tens digit plus unit digit. Understand? So this is the 2-digit number that we got, the original number. Now what they told, so this is the original number. So after you get the value of x, after getting the value of x, you put them here, you will get the original number. That is what we have to find, and the answer will be 27. Okay, so we got 2-digit number, the original number is this. Now what they told, when 45 is added to the number, the digit interchanges their places. So that means when I am adding 45 to this number, the digit reverse. That means, for example, 56 becomes 65. You can understand, if I from 56, if I add 9, it becomes 65. The digit is getting interchanged, right? Similarly, in this case also, with this number, if I am adding 45, the digit will get interchanged. So therefore I can say, according to the question, what they told, that with this 2-digit number, that's 10x and then 14 by x, with this 2-digit number, if I add 45, the number gets reversed. The digit interchange their places. The digit interchange their places means unit digit becomes tens digit and tens digit become unit digit. Then the new number becomes what? 10 into, now here will be 14 by x and plus x. You understand? Because in the original number, this is the tens digit, this is the unit digit, and when from the original number, if I am adding 45, then the unit digit become tens digit become unit digit. Now you have to simplify and solve these numbers equation, and then we'll find the value of x, and then after putting we'll get it. So okay, so initially just I am explaining you how can we do this. You can understand that 10x plus this, and we can do it this way. 45 is equal to 140 by x plus x minus 10x minus 14 by x. So we can solve in this way. We got 45 is equal to 140 by x, and then we get here minus 9x minus 14 by x. We can take x LCM. What we got here? 140 minus 9x square minus 14 and 45. Then we get here 45x is equal to 140, 26, 31, 26 minus 9x square. Finally, what we got? 9x square plus 45x minus 126 equals to 0. And I think we can also we can take 9 common in all. Okay, 9 common in all, then the equation becomes smaller. So I can take 9 common, x square, 9, 5x minus 9 into 1s are 9, 10, 11, 12, 9 4s are. So finally my equation is x square plus 5x minus 14 is equal to 0. And then it's solve and you get the value of x. And after getting the value of x, you have to find the number. So we'll put the value of x here. Okay. So the question is incomplete. So the question will be find the number. So you have to find this number. Okay. Okay. So this sum. The two sides of a right angle triangle containing the right angle at this and this. So side of a right angle triangle means, say this is the right angle triangle, and these are the two sides containing the right angle triangle. So these sides are given. This is 3x plus 1 and this is 2x minus 1. And they told if the area of the triangle is 30, find the length of the side. So it's very easy. We can say that area, area is equal to given 30 centimeter square. And area means half into base into height. And here this is the base and this becomes the height. So half into 2x minus 1 into 3 into x plus 1 equals to 30. Okay, and then you have to simplify this. 2 goes there, so we can make this one as 2x minus 1 and 3x plus 3 equals to 60, and then 3 into 2 6x square plus 6x minus 3x minus 3 equals to 60. Therefore we got 6x square plus 3x minus 63 equals to 0. And here also, you can take 3 common. So we get 2x square plus x minus 21 equals to 0. So finally we got 2x square plus x minus 21 equals to 0. Okay. So from here we'll get the value of x. In all quadratic equation, naturally we'll get the two values of x, but one will be positive and one will be negative. So generally we'll always take the positive values, because length, breadth, height or area or whatever it is, they are all positive. So we'll take the positive value, and for the negative value we'll write impossible. Okay. So after getting the value of x, you can put the value of x in this. So you get one side, you get the value of x in again second, you get the second side, and then you can use Pythagoras theorem and you can get the third side. So you will get 5 and 12, and by applying Pythagoras theorem you will get 13, and so that will be your answer. Okay. Okay. Now in this sum, a rectangular garden of 10 meter by 16 meter is to be surrounded by a concrete path. Now see here, now this is the rectangular path, garden, sorry. So this is the rectangular garden, and they told it is 16 meter, 10 meter by 16 meter. So this will be 10 meter and this is 16 meter. And it is to be surrounded by an uniform path. So that means from outside like this, it will be surrounded. So this is the path. And the area of the path is given 120. So that means area of the shaded path is given 120, and you have to find the value of x. That means if I take this, the width as x. Now you can understand from here that area of the path is given as 120. So that means this path is 120. Now generally if you have to find the area of this path, what you have to do? You have to find the area of ABCD minus area of EFGH. Is it not? External rectangle, area of external rectangle minus area of internal rectangle will give you the area of the path. So in that concept only we will go. Now we have taken already let the width of the path be x. Now here internal length I know 16 and internal breadth I know 10. Now what will be my external length? Now try to understand. External length will be this 16 plus x and plus x from here, so it will be 16 plus 2x, this external, because you can understand this path is x from here and this x from here. So this is 16, then plus x and plus x, so you get 16 plus 2x as the external length. Similarly internal length, external breadth, internal length we already know 10, 16, and internal breadth, external breadth in fact will be 10 plus 2x. So similarly external breadth will also be 10 plus 2x. So this is 10 plus 2x. Understand? This is 10 plus x and then plus x. So this finally we get this breadth as 10 plus 2x. Now simply we can say that external area minus internal area is equal to area of the path. Okay, so external area is what? 16 plus 2x and 10 plus 2x, so this is 16 plus 2x and 10 plus 2x. External area minus internal area will be what? It will be 16 into 10, so this internal area. So from external area, if you subtract internal area, you get the area of the path, and that area of the path is given how much? 120. So this will be, from here we can get the equation, 16 plus 2x and then 10 plus 2x. This will become 120 plus 160. 160 goes there. Again 16. Now you can see here that you can take 2 common here. So you can take 2 common, you get 8 plus x. You can take another 2 common here. You get 5 plus x. And that will be equal to 280. And then you can say it is x plus 8 and x plus 5 equals to 280 by this 2 into 2 will come down here. 2 into 2, you get 140 and then you get 70. So finally what you get? X into x, x square plus 5x plus 8x plus 40 is equal to 70, and finally I get x square plus 8 plus 5, 13x, and then minus 30 is equal to 0. Understand? From here again you get the value of x. Again you will get two values, one positive and one negative. So naturally we will take the positive value and my answer will be 2 meters. Okay. Okay. Now here they told some students planned a picnic and the budget for food was rupees 500. When budget means the whole budget for food for everybody total. But out of the 5 of these failed to go. 5 of these failed to go to the picnic, and thus the cost of food for each member increased by rupees 5. So naturally the cost will increase now because the number of students now attending is less. So the cost of food for each member increased by 5. Then how many students attended the picnic? How many students attended the picnic? Now if I say let the number of students who should have attended is equal to x. Therefore, according to this, now this was the original number of students who should attend. Therefore, I can say cost of food for each. In that case, the cost of food for each will be 500 by x rupees, because total 500 rupees was the expense and the total number of students should have been there was x. Okay, so each person's share, each student share would be this one. But actually what happens? But 5 students didn't attended, and therefore number of students who attended is how much? Number of students is now 5 less x minus 5. And now what will be the cost of food? For each. Now the cost of food for each will be 500 by x minus 5. That means the cost of food is increasing. What, understand? And you can understand, so previously when number of students was x originally, then the cost of food for each is this. Now since 5 people attended less, and therefore now the cost of food for each is increasing. So that means everybody have to pay more now. How many more? 5 rupees more. And therefore, according to that question, we can say that 500 by x minus 5 minus 500 by x, and that should be is equal to 5 rupees. That should be is equal to 5 rupees. So this will be the equation, and we have to solve this. Now you can solve this in a better way. You can take 500 common. I take 1 by x minus 5 minus 1 by x equals to 5. And now you can take that 500 that side. 1 by x minus 5 minus 1 by x is equal to 5 by 500. And then finally you can take x minus 5 minus 1 by x is equal to 1 by 100. And now after taking LCM, you can get the value of x from here. Okay. Okay, a piece of cloth cost rupees 200. So a particular piece of cloth cost rupees 200. If the piece were 5 meter long, that means if the piece is 5 meter long than the original one, and each meter of cloth cost rupees 2 less, that means cost of the cloth per meter is 2 less than the original one, then the cost of the piece would have remained unchanged, because you can understand the cost is decreasing by 2 rupees and the length is also increasing, and therefore the price is remaining same. So try to understand from here. Now if I divide this into first case and second case, then you can understand what they are telling. Now if I start with let the original piece, let the length of the original piece, okay, original piece is equal to x meter. So this is the original piece, the piece of cloth cost rupees 200. So therefore I can say first case, that means in case of the original one, I can say the length of the cloth is how much? X meter. Cost is how much? Rupees 200. So therefore I can say that x meter cost rupees 200, and therefore 1 meter cost how much per meter? That will be 200 by x. So therefore cost per meter, cost per meter in the first case is this. Okay. Now see second case. Second case means after if. What they told, if the piece were 5 meter longer. So in the second case, if the length of the cloth is 5 meter longer than before, and the cost is rupees 2 less, so that means cost per meter is rupees 2 less, then the cost of the piece would have remained unchanged. That means the cost of the piece will remain 200. So I can think it in this way, that here also I can take that the cost is rupees 200, because the cost would have remained unchanged. So that means in the second case also the cost of the piece is 200, and therefore I can say that x plus 5 meter cost how much? Rupees 200, and therefore 1 meter cost how much? 1 meter cost 200 by x plus 5. So therefore I can say cost per meter in the second case is this. So cost per meter in the first case is this, cost per meter in the second case is this, 200 by x plus 5. But what they told in the second case, that if the piece were 5 meter longer, okay, the piece is 5 meter longer, and each meter of cloth cost rupees 2 less. So that means per meter cost rupees 2 less than the previous one. So that means with respect to this cost is 2 rupees less. So therefore from here we get that equation. According to the question, we can say 200 by x minus 200 by x plus 5 is equal to 2. You understand? Because second case the cost price is 2 rupees less per meter. So here also now you can take, as usual I have told you in the previous sum, you can take 200 common and you can proceed forward. Is equal to 2, take 2 that side, 200, so we get 1 by x minus 1 by x plus 5, you get 2 by 200, you get 1 by 100, and then you can proceed forward and find this. So in the first case, your first case 20 meter, that's the answer, x you get. And cost per meter means the original cost per meter, so that means you have to find this. So this is the second answer, x is your first answer and 200 by x is your second answer. Okay. Okay, now this sum is related with upstream and downstream. Here they told the speed of the boat in still water is 11 km per hour and it can go 12 km upstream and return downstream to the original point in 2 hours 45 minutes. Find the speed of the stream. Now, if I start with, okay, let the speed of the stream is equal to x kilometer per hour, and you know, given speed of boat is 11 kilometer per hour. Now in case of upstream, you know, in case of upstream and downstream we have to find out the relative speed. That is in case of upstream and in case of downstream. Relative speed, you can understand, relative speed means it is the combined effect of the boat and the stream. Try to understand that upstream means, you know, upstream means going against the stream. Now stream is flowing downward and the boat is going upward. So in fact what happens, the relative speed become less. And downstream means, you know, the boat is towards the stream. So if the stream is flowing downward, the boat is also going down. In that case also it have to use the relative speed. In case of upstream, you can understand the boat is going against the stream and therefore the relative speed decreases. But in case of downstream, the boat is going along the stream and therefore the relative speed increases. So therefore, in case of upstream, the relative speed, since the relative speed become less in case of upstream, the relative speed will be 11 minus x. That is the speed of the boat minus speed of the stream. Now in case of downstream, the relative speed will be more, so therefore I take 11 plus x. Now you can see speed in case of upstream, the speed is this, distance. Distance is how much? 12 kilometer. In case of downstream also, the distance is 12 kilometers. So it can go 12 upstream and return downstream, means the distance is same, and therefore time will be how much? Time, you know, time means it's distance by speed, so 12 by 11 minus x hour, and here the time means again 12 by 11 plus x hour. So this is T1, this is T2. So is it not, according to the question, total time T1 plus T2 is 2 hours 45 minutes. It's 2 hours 45 minutes. So therefore the equation becomes what? 12 by 11 minus x plus 12 by 11 plus x, and that I'll write 2 hours 45 minutes full into hour. So I'll write 245 by 60 hour. Like this. Now for 15 3s are 15 4s are, so finally I can take 12 common. I get what? 1 by 11 minus x, 1 by 11 plus x, and here you got 4 2 3 by 4, that's 4 to 8, 11 by 11 by 4, and then now we can solve 1 by 11 minus x plus 1 by 11 plus x is equal to 11 by 4 into 12. So 1 by 11 minus x, 1 by 11 plus x, 48. Now we can solve this equation forming a quadratic equation, and we can get the value of, okay. Okay, now this one related to time and work. If you remember, yeah, you have done it in class 8. What they told, one pipe can fill a cistern in 3 hours less than the another, and the two pipes together can fill the cistern in 6 hours 40 minutes. Then find the time each pipe will take to fill the cistern. Now if I take let one pipe, now let us mention it as pipe A, can fill in x hours. Therefore second pipe, now second pipe, let us take it as pipe B, can fill, what they told, in 3 hours less, in x minus 3 hours. Therefore, now we can say that in x hours, pipe A in x hours can fill the whole tank, whole cistern. So that means, so if you remember time and work, you can understand that if A can complete a work in 15 days, then in one day A can complete 1/15. So here also you can understand that if pipe A in x hours can fill the whole cistern means full, means 1. Therefore in 1 hour pipe A can fill 1 by x part of the cistern. Similarly, pipe B in x minus 3 hours can fill the whole cistern. Therefore, in 1 hour, pipe B can fill 1 by x minus 3 parts. Now, also, here they told that the two pipes together can fill in 6 hours 40 minutes. That means what? Pipe A plus pipe B can fill the whole tank in 6 hours 40 minutes. That is, I can say it is 640 by 60. So I get 6 2 by 3 minutes. I am not hour, in fact 6 2 by 3 hours. That is 20 by 3 hours. Now try to understand what we can understand. Therefore, in 20 by 3 hours, A plus B can fill the whole tank. Therefore, in 1 hour, A plus B can fill how much? 1 by 20 by 3, and that means 3 by 20. Now, is it not according to the question? Therefore, I can say according to the question, what I can say. Now, this is, you see, pipe A is 1 hour work. This is pipe B is 1 hour work. Pipe A in 1 hour can fill this much. Pipe B in 1 hour can fill this much, and therefore I can say A plus B. I can say simply that 1 by x, that's pipe A's 1 hour work, plus 1 by x minus 3, that is pipe B's 1 hour work, and that should be is equal to 3 by 20, that is pipe A plus B's 1 hour work I got from there. Understand? So this will be the equation. So from here you form the quadratic equation and you can get it. Okay.